Hello and welcome to another edition of Talking Tech. The topic of today's conversation is going to be managed security service providers, often referred to as MSSPs. What are these and why should you care? Let's get into it. Talking Tech. So today we're talking about managed security service providers, or MSSPs. So why are more and more organizations of all shapes and sizes actually looking to outsource certain aspects or the entirety of their network security approach to these professional service organizations? There's a few different reasons why, but the fact of the matter is that whether you're an enormous enterprise or a small mom and pop shop trying to make it through these days, the cybersecurity criminals are always advancing their tactics. The threat landscape is ever increasing, and there is a never-ending slew of zero-day attacks and vulnerabilities that are constantly entering the marketplace that these cyber criminals are looking to take advantage of to gain access to your company's sensitive data. And it's nearly impossible today for an organization to scale the resources to keep up with those who are trying to breach their organization. And one of the biggest misconceptions that I run into working with clients is those clients in the kind of small, medium business space. They feel, hey, I'm just a small shop. Cyber criminals are much more likely to be going after the large Fortune 500 companies because they have so much more data to steal. That's really not the case. These cyber criminals today are so sophisticated, it is a billion-dollar, multi-billion-dollar business for them to gain access and steal people's data, that they're just running software programs that are loaded with known vulnerabilities, scanning millions of individual computers, millions of computer networks around the world at any given second. And the minute one of these vulnerabilities is identified, they're going to get a notification and go to work on accessing that data, stealing your personal information, a lot of times locking your corporate data up via ransomware until you pay their fine or do what is asked of you to regain access to your data. So cybersecurity is a ever-evolving challenge for organizations of all shapes and sizes today. So the first reason that a lot of companies are turning to managed security service providers is they're looking at what is the true cost of having an internal team dedicated to network security. A lot of companies just truly don't have an internal team that's dedicated solely to cybersecurity, and they're just leveraging resources like their internal IT manager or system network admins to try to manage the day-to-day technology needs while also managing the very difficult task of securing an enterprise network. And you really got to think about what the opportunity cost is for these individuals. These folks could be focusing all of their attention on, what is that next strategic initiative that's going to get your company moving to the next level, keep you competitive in the marketplace. And you can simply offload a lot of these technical security tasks to a team of individuals that do this day in, day out. So that they can be the security guard for your network. And turning that piece of technology operations over to professional service providers is oftentimes a economical and more secure way of getting the job done. The second reason that a lot of companies are choosing to work with managed security service providers is it's difficult to even find the staff who are qualified to protect your organization. Cybersecurity has a 0% unemployment rate. It's one of the only fields that has this 0% unemployment rate today, and that is because cybersecurity is in such high demand for every organization. A lot of times these folks, even if you did want to find them and hire them for your organization, are making upwards of six figures or multi-six figure incomes, and that's before operational overhead, ongoing training that they need to keep up with the latest security vulnerabilities to make sure they're keeping your organization safe, benefits, vacation time, and the like. Managed security service providers don't take vacation time. They work around the clock protecting your organization. And network security is certainly one of those functions that should never sleep. The cyber criminals aren't sleeping, and neither should your approach to cyber and network security. And then the third reason that a lot of these organizations are looking to outsource certain aspects of their security approach is these organizations, and the ones that are doing it right, do this day in and day out. That is all that they think about 24/7, 365 is network security. Oftentimes they have security operations centers where they're able to get a 1,000-foot overview of everything that's going on the network that could be suspicious, different alerts that are happening so that they can react real time, and they are not tied down by the day-to-day other responsibilities that go along with running your business and keeping you guys competitive and strategic in the marketplace. Just take firmware updates, for example. That is the number one way that cyber criminals gain access to your company's data, is taking advantage of known vulnerabilities, where a lot of the different technology vendors that you're using for equipment on your network or software on your network, they've already come out with patches to solve these known vulnerabilities. But security patching is always the first thing to kind of go by the wayside when there's something else grabbing your attention and that you need to deal with more urgently, or things that you feel are more important in the moment. That's when security patching is going to kind of take a back seat. And it only takes one vulnerability for a cyber criminal to gain access to your data. Working with a managed security service provider, you're going to get an SLA, or service level agreement, where they are contractually obligated to make sure that you have the latest and greatest patches to all vulnerabilities on your network. They're keeping up with 0-day attacks and the vulnerability patching that goes along with securing and plugging those gaps to make sure that your organization is protected at all times. And just as kind of one of the largest examples of this patching requirement is Microsoft. Everyone is using Microsoft. Those who are in the security field or do it at least part-time are aware of Patch Tuesday, where Microsoft releases, it could be up to hundreds of new firmware upgrades and updates on any given Tuesday. But working with a managed security service provider, it really simplifies this patching. A lot of times Microsoft is giving you optional patches on Patch Tuesday. Maybe some of them haven't been fully vetted. Maybe they're going to slow down your network functionality. But a good managed security service provider has already done the legwork to research these patches. It works with thousands or hundreds of clients or whatever it may be, so they have experience knowing which patches are going to lead to issues, which patches are true necessities and need to be taken care of right away. So just having that knowledge of constantly thinking 24/7, 365 about nothing but your network security is going to give them the leg up on making sure that the right patches are being done at the right time for your organization, to make sure that you're not victim to one of these attacks. So today we talked about a few of the key reasons that a lot of organizations of all shapes and sizes are turning towards network security service providers to help protect their network. The bottom line is that the threat landscape is so wide and ever changing and evolving that it is impossible for a single individual to keep up with, and it's cost prohibitive for most organizations to actually hire and retain the talent that is needed to make sure their organization is protected from today's cybersecurity attacks. And what it really comes down to is opportunity cost. You're paying a lot of money for those very capable technology resources in-house, so allow them to focus on that next strategic initiative that's going to keep you more competitive in the marketplace, that's going to help you with your growth goals, and leave a lot of the nitty-gritty technical security details up to a service provider that does nothing but network security 24/7, 365 days a year. So that concludes today's edition of Talking Tech. I appreciate you tuning in. Stay tuned for the next episode of Talking Tech.